All right, mic check. Mic check 1 2. I believe this thing is on, guys. I believe it's on. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. I haven't done one of these in about a week because I've been playing Stella Blade and watching basketball. I live in Kentucky. Basketball tournaments starting to heat up, whether it be the high school tournament, the NCAA tournament, and just the SEC tournament. You may have in the semifinals. Let me put this to you. Your semifinals could be Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, and Auburn. I mean, those would literally be 3 top 10 teams in the SEC semifinal. Just putting it out there. All right, first things first, let me go ahead and see if I can bring up the video here. And there we go. You all don't want to see my big mug like that. So let me go here. Let's move this over here. Let me condense this down the only way I know how. There. All righty. Well, there's a good picture of good look at me and my grill. Oh, okay. Let me there we go. All right. So big shout out to P-Rock with 60 frames no lag yesterday. That was just fun. Hopefully y'all will go watch that. Make sure you support that stream. Hit the like button over there and share. We were just cutting up over there. It was hilarious, man. That SPR made a thumbnail over there, and it's just that kangaroo looked like he was waiting for SEAL Team 6 to come and rescue him. That's all I can say. But shout out to Porter Rock for putting that podcast. That's just a fun podcast. I'm really glad that I'm able to be on that podcast. I only stay on for about an hour because at my time, I usually go to bed about 9:45, and we don't start till 8:30. So that's why I only stay for about an hour because I got to get laid down. I'm an old man, so I got to go and take my Metamucil and all that kind of stuff and make sure I got my diaper on. So But yeah, getting to why I'm here today. Want to give a shout out to everybody that's here. The first 48's in the house. Briaros still a member. Shout out to Briaros. Make sure you all member up if you want. I did a member stream the other day, a Mass Effect member stream the other day for about an hour, and there were members came over, hung out. It was fun, and let's see here. Says, shout out to the old man. He says that time for the Halo, and Halo song. Okay. But I have a poll out there. Pause. I have a poll up here about something that nobody's been talking about this week, which is Death Stranding 2's trailer. The sit down with Kojima, and I'll put this up on the screen for you guys. I have a couple of things to talk about tonight. That's why I'm here. Couldn't talk about them last night because I didn't have enough. We just didn't have enough time. And let me add the source here. A lot of you all aren't talking about this. This happened Sunday at it's SXSW, and it's a special panel. And this is just me. I have not seen a lot of people talking about this. And I just wanted to remind people, if you're interested in Kojima's next game, which is called Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and please don't ask me what this game is about because I played it, I finished it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know what the game's about, but I had fun playing it, so I just kept playing it. I just know I built a bunch of roads, and then these things were pulling me into another dimension. I had to fight with pee. Like you got to put like pee in a bottle, and somehow it makes these things go away. But anyway, it's fine. I mean, it's got Norman Reedus. It's got an all-star cast. It's got some hot chick in there that calls herself. I forgot what her name is. So, but Fragile. She's hot, but there's something wrong with her body. But she's got a cute face, so she's not a butterface, right? I mean, you all know what a butterface is, right? Everything is good looking about her butterface. So, but she's got a cute face. But anyway, it's a fun game. I still don't understand what it was about, but I recommend you play it. You do a lot of walking. You will get to a point in Death Stranding where you get like a power exoskeleton. And when you get that game is just it's easier. For me, the transversal was easier, And I recommend don't do any missions except build the roads. Like spend 2 hours of your game time building roads. That's it. You build the roads up and you're good. So this panel that Kojima is doing is on March 9th. Here, let me blow this up a little bit. Pause. And you can see here that it's by PlayStation. Okay. This was announced February 11th. This is why this game wasn't at the last State of Play, because Sony is giving Kojima his own stage. Okay. Giving Kojima his own stage. And that's Hideo Kojima. And he wants to direct movies or short stories and stuff like that coming. But March 9th, 2025, 4 p.m. I still don't know what CDT is. I mean, somebody can explain what CDT is. I would appreciate it. Hold on. Alexa, what time is 4 p.m. CDT? Let's see what she said. Oh, you don't even know what it is. Anyway, 4 p.m. CDT. And wherever, so if you all are interested in watching this, and this is from Kojima's website, okay, I didn't have to go to some secret part of the internet, because I don't do that. This is Kojima's panel that Sony has put together for him, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. So if you're a special panel, it clearly says down here. Let me see if I can blow this up. I don't know if I can. Yeah, okay. So here, it's in Austin, Texas, where I recommend if you go to Austin, make sure you get the barbecue. I forgot the name of the store, but the barbecue brisket with nachos and jalapeno. Yummy, 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 yummy. Try it. It's March 9th, at the special panel. Hideo Kojima will discuss and share new details about Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. It is the upcoming sequel to the critically acclaimed Death Stranding video game, arriving exclusively on PlayStation 5 later this year. So in order for you to play this game, and this game is going to go to PC, because Kojima bought Death Stranding from Sony. Sony sold it to him, maybe for $350. I don't know how much. But Kojima, again, Sony helped Kojima get started. Sony let Kojima use the Decima engine. I don't even think they probably didn't charge him a whole lot. It's just what Sony did was they allowed Kojima to use their engine, but any improvement that Kojima made in the Decima engine, Sony automatically trademarked. And it was just automatic. Kojima came in, I did this. Boom, trademark. And you can see some of the things that Kojima did in the Decima engine. You will see it if you play Horizon Forbidden West. You can see from the camera angles to the way it was zooming in on things. That Kojima did that on the Decima. So and Sony trademarks it, and now it's part of the Decima engine. So, but again, I personally, and maybe people are going to start talking about this tomorrow, but when you listen to me, you are the tip of the spear. You are the SEAL team going in there. You are it. Okay, you get ahead of the game. I'm the one who told you all that you're going to be paying $100 for video games, and now all of a sudden we have these tariffs and games are going to probably go up again. So if you just listen to me, and I said that I think I said that starting in June of last year, and you have people going, they ain't going to never do that. The world is riddled with a bunch of dead people who said that will never happen. Okay? And that's just, your history. All right? Back in 1939, there was people in England were sitting there saying, well, yeah, this guy Adolf Hitler sounds crazy, but he's not going to do anything. Look what happened. Again, you better just get it ready. Get your money, get your credit card. If you got to go donate plasma, donate sperm, you're going to be paying more for your video games. Just have that, get it ready. Just get it ready. And don't complain. Stop bitching. Grow up. Just get it ready. And if you want to play, when you're going to pay more, just go ahead, grin and bear it, and get it over with. It ain't going to hurt that bad. Just do it. Like the Nike commercial. Get knocked down 9 times, get up 10 times. Okay? Just do it. So, but if you're interested in this is March 9th. Now, why does it say February 11th? I think that's because that's when they made the announcement. And again, that's why this game wasn't in the State of Play. because they're giving it its own showcase. Okay, so again, watch it. Don't watch it. I don't think I'll be streaming it. And again, remember March 9th? Don't the clock spring ahead so you lose an hour. I think March 9th is daylight savings time. So, which I think is our last year of having it. And again, we shouldn't have to use it. If we would just use the Native American calendar, we wouldn't need daylight savings time. It's effed up. But this is going down on the 9th for all you all that are interested in it. And somebody could sit up there and explain to me what the hell happened in Death Stranding. I would appreciate it, because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell went down. But anyway, good game, fun game, crazy game, but fun to play, right? And that's why we game, okay? Also, a big shout out to all these idiots that told you all that there was no roadmap for Sony or anybody else. And, you know, Sony already knows what games they're going to have, what they're not going to have. And they are no longer going to go ahead and tell you all months in advance. Because I said before, months in advance, because all you all are going to do is bitch and moan. You know, if you don't have anything to look at, you're just at the mercy of the company. So I love the fact that these idiots who sit up there and tell you we need donations because we got to keep the lights on and things like that. And my favorite one of all is Sony not talking to us makes my job harder. That's what I want. I want your job to be so hard, you go get a real job, you know, sitting up there mucking the stalls, sitting up there making sure that your cheeks don't get violated because you got to work night shift and you got to walk out to your car. So that's what I want. I can't speak for nobody else. I don't speak for nobody else but me. So I'm just letting people know that's what this is about up over here. If you're new, shout out to all the new people that are here. Make sure you hit the like button and share. So yeah, I just mean, you know, I'm tired of it. It's just kind of like, yeah, you know, y'all got to grow up, you know. So, but what else is going on? So we got the whole Death Stranding news out of the way. You've got, you know, 2 games. If you watch Metacritic, you got 2 games in the 90s, people, and I still think Assassin's Creed. I've got Assassin's Creed scoring a 69. Why do I say 69? Because I always say 69. I don't come off the 69. I mean, that's just, people ask me what it's going to score, 69. But I plan on buying the Assassin's Creed game, like a lot of people are, and I'm going to enjoy it. I don't care that there's, you know, I don't care that people say it's woke. I like woke. Like I said before, you all better get used to wokeness. Grand Theft Auto 6, if you play Grand Theft Auto 6, it's going to be woke. How do you know that? Because Rockstar Games famously makes fun of the culture that it's in. Grand Theft Auto 5 makes fun of millennials. But millennials are so stupid, they don't realize the game's about them. Like, that's how dumb millennials are. That whole game, start to finish, is about how dumb millennials are. Because you have to remember, Trevor and Michael is Gen Z. That's my generation. Franklin and Lamar are millennials. And again, they're entertaining. I'm not knocking the entertainment because this shit was funny, but it's a joke. I mean, it's just the whole joke on the consumerism and y'all don't know how to save money and all that is in that game. It is littered all over the game. You know, it is so bad. They had to, when Michael's character in Grand Theft Auto 5 goes to the, when he has to go undercover as a tech guy, and he has to wear those stupid clothes. You hear what he's saying, right? Man, these are some of the stupidest goddamn clothes I've ever seen in my life, you know? Because he had to look like somebody from that generation. Just trash. But anyway. But so Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm telling you right now, will be woke. It's going to be super woke. Just trust me, okay? I'm just telling you right now, Rockstar Games makes fun of the culture. They're going to make fun of the culture of people being upset about things being woke. You will probably have a radio station on there where you're just going to have people going back and forth about wokeness. I'm telling you, it's going to be there. Just get ready. For me, it's going to be funny because I understand the whole thing about wokeness. Okay, the gaming industry went out of their way I mean, again, I want you all to understand what I'm about to say. People have told all these other groups of people, Latinos, black people, whatever, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go do it on your own. Nobody's going to hand you anything. Okay, that's exactly what people did. They went to school, they learned how to program, they learned how to draw something. I can't even draw a stick, man. They learned how to draw, they learned how to do animation, they learned how to do sound, they started making video games, and they're making the video games that they want to make. They're not depending on anybody else, right? But the people who told them to lift themselves up by their bootstraps, now they're mad that that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what people did, right? And so even though people did that, they're mad at the people for doing it. Well, they shouldn't be doing it because it's making me feel inferior. So Assassin's Creed was, well, first of all, the movie Captain America and Captain America Brave New World, it's made like over $300 million. It's got like close to $210 million in profit. And these people are mad as hell that Captain America did well. They're saying that there were all these reshoots, even though the director of the movie said there were very few reshoots. So, and reshoots are part of your budget. So, but that's where it comes from. So with Assassin's Creed, which isn't real, okay, they have a female. I think she's going to be a shinobi, and then you have the black dude. It's a shogun. Now, to me, they're taking the formula, and I've said this before, from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I think where you had a man and the woman, and you just kind of switched off. Okay, you switch off, and the girl would go do missions, and then the guy would go do missions, and the guy missions, that was brute force strength, and that's, to me, that's what they're showing on the Assassin's Creed thing. It's like the girl is sneaking up on people because she's a woman. She's not gonna be able to stand there and go 1-to-1, toe-to-toe. She'll probably get overwhelmed. Okay, the guy is overwhelming people with brute strength. So it's brute strength. The true they call you king of blue chews. I don't know. I'm the king, though. They got the king part right. So, yeah, they got that part right. I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MC should call me sire, okay? So, shout out to Run DMC. Before your time. All right. So, but again, so I'm excited for Assassin's Creed. I plan on buying it. I've got a GameStop gift card. It's just chewing at me. I'm going to buy the physical version of it because I'm an old man and I still like physical things. Over last weekend, I bought the Police album, the band The Police. Again, ahead of your time. Sting, all those guys. Bought that album, greatest hits album, for $7.42. Their greatest hits. $7.40, because I still buy records. I still have a record player here. So yeah, I had my dad's record player. God rest my father. So that's the thing that, you know, my mom said you all could take one thing out of the house that your father had, and I chose the record player. So I listen to the record player. It's like sitting down, listening to music with my dad. So that's what I do. Also, yeah, I see people are putting Monster Hunter in there. And remember, you got told that gaming was was going down, that gaming was failing, and gaming couldn't hold up anymore. Monster Hunter Wilds comes out and sells in 72 hours 8 million copies. Sold them. Okay, so stop listening to these people that are predicting doom and gloom. Just stop. You just look at the numbers. We keep telling you all, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Stop listening to these people that tell you that, well, Grand Theft Auto is going to be delayed. We kept telling you all, why don't you listen to the report that they put out to their shareholders? Because they can't mislead your shareholders. Do I use a record player for scratching? No, I used to have that. I used to have a Technics. I think I had Technics 1200s or 1500s back in the day. And so yeah, I think I had them back in the day. But now this is just a good old fashioned Technique player. And yeah, I listen to jazz albums. I still listen to Earl Klug and still listen to all those guys on there because a record is cleaner than your digital downloading. It's cleaner than a CD player, and it's cleaner than a tape. The first print of a record is the cleanest song, the cleanest version of a song you're going to hear. Okay? It's the cleanest song you're going to hear. Every Breath You Take, classic song. Yeah, you know if they did that song today, women would be saying this song's about being stalked. Like, that's how trash these women are nowadays. But that's why there's going to be so many single women, because they trash, right? But anyway, so just remember, out of the guys I'll name here, Sick Humor, King Thrash, myself, Reforged Gaming, shout out to Reforged Gaming, Porter Rock, J-Dub, we're not going to sit here and lie to you all. Okay? It's a hobby. So why? It's a hobby. It's fun. You know, I go to work every day just like you all do. I put my pants on. Well, my pants, I can't wear your pants because your pants on me, it would be too tight on my crotch. You know what I'm saying? Because a brother's packing. But my point to you all is that I get dressed and I go out the door at 5:45 every morning and I get home at 4:30, 4:45, just like you guys do. So this is fun talking to you guys, things like that. But there's no reason to lie to you all. Like, none. That's why I said before, hey, I didn't listen to people about telling me the Xbox was trash. I went out and bought an Xbox. I played it myself for 6 months. I'm like, okay, I don't like this because if I don't like this because Optimus Code, rest in peace, was correct. Microsoft made a console for games that were built for the time, like right then and there. Sony created a console for the future, and that's what we're seeing, the upscaling, the machine learning, things like that. So Optimus Code was right. He was correct. Optimus Code didn't tell no lies. He got attacked. Even in death, people were mocking him. So, yeah, put a 1 in the chat if you're going to buy Death Stranding, because I just haven't seen anybody talking about it. But so you all need to, if you're going to try to search for who can I listen to, and I've heard people say, well, I just look at you guys as entertaining. That's fine too. That is perfectly fine. Okay, I'm all for the entertaining and all that kind of stuff. But we're also trying to relay a message to you all. Just we do it differently. I don't message you all like Sick Humor does. Sick Humor doesn't do it like Porter Rock. Porter Rock doesn't do it like J-Dub. J-Dub doesn't do it like King Thrash. I don't do it like J-Dub. So we should be able to hit every type of person on how you like to listen to us. How you like to take in your information. So, because I'm not going to do it the way Thrash and Sick Humor do it. I'm not going to do it. They're not going to do it like me. That's just everybody has different ways of communicating. You all have different ways of listening and learning, and that's perfectly fine. Hopefully one of us or all of us is able to collectively do the job. If you all want to know inside gaming information, make sure you follow Hip Hop Gamer. Just follow him, okay? He's on social media. He's on X. He's on YouTube. So just make sure you follow him. That's all you got to do. Okay, he's the one about the that engine, the remaster engine that Sony is going to have. He's the one who put that out first. Now, and I'm telling you right now, according to Hip Hop Gamer, that will be an extra charge. If you want that type of graphical, whatever they're doing on there, whatever that thing is, if you want that, you're going to have to pay extra for it. Do I have a double cassette deck? I do. I still have cassette tapes, So, yeah, I've got like LL Cool J's first 3 albums all on cassette. Public Enemy's first 3 albums on cassette. Boogie Down Productions' first 5 albums on cassette. So yeah, I'm pretty Naughty by Nature. Just all the old school stuff that 20, 30 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. But I got all that Kid and Play. That's all on tape. All NWA, Eazy-E, got all that stuff. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Sir Mix-a-Lot did a song called Baby Got Back, and it gave white women a complex. Like, that song was that popular. Like, they were dancing to it in the clubs. These white women were dancing to Baby Got Back in the clubs, and that song was talking about how skinny they were. Like it was like dissing them. So just saying. I'm just saying. What's up, Jay Prince? So anyway, now where was I? So we got the Death Stranding thing out of the way. Oh yeah, yeah. If you all want real information, then you need to listen. You need to understand how to listen. You need to understand what you have to do to find it. Then you need to understand how to process it. And just a lot of you all don't understand that. That's reality. That is the reality that we all live with. Like, okay, how do we disseminate what we know to you guys? Like, how do we do that? You know, so when the stuff was coming out about the PS5 Pro, I'm like, okay, here's what I know about the PS5 Pro. You know, it's going to be RDNA 3. It's RDNA 2, RDNA 3, and RDNA 4. It's going to be, and again, shout out to Moore's Law who broke all this down, and you knew it was true because Sony or somebody made him take his video down. So somebody got in touch with him and said, you need to take this shit down, and he did. So, but yeah, so when we tell you all that the gaming business is fine, and then Sony puts out a statement saying that they had their best quarter, you know, I can say they had a good quarter above where they said they were going to be. They told their shareholders they were going to be 1%, 2% with the consoles growth, and they got 9 to 10%. So boom, they overperform. Their stock goes up. Because you were supposed to be here, and now you reported this dividend of up here. So now more investment comes in, and Sony's company gains value. But remember, you were told just 24 hours before Sony reported that gaming was down. Now, I want to make this clear. Gaming overall has slowed down. That is true. But the analysts have said that gaming is still expected to bring in, you know, billions of dollars. So don't get too caught up. Just because Microsoft, we're going to land the plane here. Just because Microsoft is struggling to sell consoles and sell games because they got that stupid ass service called Game Pass, they want to push that. The national media narrative is, well, Microsoft is struggling, so everybody's struggling. But Nintendo isn't really struggling. Okay, Sony had a great quarter for the third quarter going into the fourth, or maybe it was the fourth, entering the fourth, something like that. So that's simply not true, and you don't have to argue with people because it's like, nah. I mean, let's go find out yourself. Hence, for why I always will bring in Forbes or MSNBC or not MSNBC, CNBC. Those are business networks. All they do is talk about the money. So all they do is talk about the money. And Sony is making pretty good money. Sony's console is their main line of business. And the reason why, I'm sorry, that's the wrong thing to say. My opinion on the reason why they're doing this is because I'm going to be honest with you all. This is my hypothesis. I think people are going to lose their jobs. And here's why I think people are going to lose their jobs. I think when Microsoft, when it finally starts sinking in that they are third party, there's going to be no reason for people to listen or watch a Digital Foundry or go click on IGN or go watch, go to the store and buy an Xbox. Because if I go to the store, if I walk into a GameStop and I know every game that Xbox has is on PlayStation now, it's starting to look like Sony and Microsoft could not come to a deal for physical. So, and Microsoft actually saves money, when you don't box physical. But so it's starting to look like that. It's beginning to look a lot. It's like we're not gonna get physical copies of these games, which sucks because for me personally, because I'm still the dinosaur. I still collect physical things. Hence for why I just told you I just bought the Police's Greatest Hits for Central Time. So it's 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay, I see it. Okay, so Central. Okay, so 5 o'clock my time. Eastern Time, if you're in the Eastern Time Zone in the United States, 5 o'clock. Am I going to watch it Yes. Am I going to stream it? No. 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 Why not? Because I can have it on and be playing Stellar Blade. But Stellar Blade is gorgeous. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous game. Beautiful game. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm playing Stellar Blade. I mean, Kojima can talk. I'll be looking at Eve. So, so we have a coordinated campaign. I'm gonna give you my opinion here. We have a coordinated campaign between multiple outlets. I won't say no names, okay? Multiple outlets, I believe, are coordinating against Sony because they want Sony to fail. Now, they don't want Sony to fail to the point where they're going out of business. They want Sony to fail to the point where Sony would have to put their games day and date on PC. That's what they want. And when you look at the people who are doing the majority of the bitching and moaning, like they're getting cramps, it is a bunch of people in the PC community that can't get no pussy. And then you got a bunch of people that were in the Xbox community that felt disrespected by Microsoft, went and built a PC, but they didn't know what kind of PC to get. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to put their PCs together. So what they did is they went ahead and they spec'd their PC to what Steam had. All right, so Steam, we know that with Steam, we know that the majority of people who have Steam that have answered the Steam survey, which is a whole bunch of people, we know they at 1080p. We know it. So we know they at 60 frames per second. We know it. We saw it. I saw it with my own beady little eyes. I saw it. Sitting there in my underwear and no shirt on. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are playing at 1080p. Now they're playing at 60 frames per second. They're playing in high to ultra settings. Yes. But the PlayStation and the PlayStation Pro, we're playing at 4K, baby. We're playing at 4K. We can even play at 8K. All right. And again, I'm so sick and tired of mopping these dudes' booties up, with just the actual facts. And yes, you are at 1080p. And of course, you had people out there saying things like, well, not everybody did that Steam poll. Shut up. The majority of you guys the majority of them are not playing on high-end PCs. Your PlayStation 5 Pro has more processing power than 90% of these guys' PCs. You do. Even if you have an Xbox and or a regular PS5, you can play at 1440p 60. Like your base PS5. If I put The Last of Us, the PS4 version of The Last of Us, if I put that in, if I download that off of PSN or whatever it's called, I'm going to get 1440p 60 frames per second. But I'm going to get medium to low graphics settings. In order for you to do that, your PC, you're going to be paying over $900. So, and trust me, I know. All right, my PC, I've got a 8-core processor. I've got a 3060, which does the DLSS and the DLAA and the FSR. It does all that bullshit. Right? Which these PC guys attack. Remember attacking the PSSR? Well, what? They can't do a native. Well, neither can your trash ass PC, bitch. I mean, it's just the way it is. Your PC is trash compared to these pros. You didn't go out and get no 5090. You ain't got no 4090. You don't even have a 3090. You got a 3060 and or a 6700X XT. Maybe you got a 6800, but do not let these guys lie. The majority of them don't have high-end PCs, and they don't speak for the majority. They can speak for themselves. I mean, if your dumb ass went out and spent $3,800 on a PC, then when you go to try to play Monster Hunter, it don't work right when it's working fine on the PlayStation Pro. It's working fine. So what's going on? Well, do you see? It's not Optima. No. Your PC is trash. Let's just leave it there. Your PC's trash. So, Torian Singh, that's what Marlon says. Sony needs to talk more because it would make his job easier as a podcaster. Okay? That's why. Made no mistake about it. Sony talking more, which I don't want them to talk more. All right? Only time I want them to talk to me is when, like they just did the State of Play. State of Play, we got gameplay. Okay? We got gameplay. We got release dates and or windows. That's all we need. I'll take that. That's all I need. Now, you may need more, and that's fine. But that's all I need. And if you're a consumer, you just want to know, when can I go consume the product that you're putting out? You know, oh, you're going to put out a new flavor of like Starbucks is putting out, you know how they put out their spring flavors, their summer flavors, their fall flavors, their winter flavors. Well, they tell you when it's going to happen. Oh, okay. I don't want to hear about your spring stuff in the fall. Why? I got 2 more seasons to go through. But for people like a Marlon and people like that, they are dependent on hearing from that other source, and that's why they're spinning their wheels all the time. And that's nothing against those guys doing it. Shout out to all those guys doing it. I can't do that. Like, I don't have the wherewithal to sit down and try to earn a living off of the internet. I just don't have it in me. My generation, we helped create it. We didn't know how to use it, so we just gave it away. They gave it away. And so now you guys are using it. That's perfectly fine. I still remember there were 50 websites. I still remember there were 50 websites. I'm like, oh, that's a whole lot of websites now. Come on now, look at it. So just remember that there's an agenda. Their agenda is we got to get Sony to put games day and date on PC. And each time Sony doesn't do it or Sony doesn't announce they're going to do it, these guys get mad and have cramps. And it's you see the pattern. Now you can kind of see where I'm going with this. You see the pattern. John Cena turned heel. Yeah, John Cena, there's a very good chance he's going to be in Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, don't put it past him that he may be in Grand Theft Auto 6. He may be playing a different character, but he may be in it. So, but at the end of the day, that's your agenda. Their goal, they want Sony sales to slow down, or they want to put out into the ether that Sony is struggling, and Sony is struggling. Therefore, they have to go ahead and put their games day and day on PC. And that will, once they do that, they believe that's going to pull you guys who have consoles. This is going to pull you guys into that PC ecosystem because they saw the PlayStation community doing it. I'm sorry, the Xbox community, they did it. You know, it's like, okay, we feel disrespected by Xbox putting all their games day and date on PC. We're just going to go buy PCs. And like I said before, they bought 6-core CPUs. They bought 3060s or the AMD equivalent, and now they're struggling. Hence why you have people like Jay Fawn saying things like, no, who is this for? Who is the PS5 Pro for? And then shout out to Moore's Law is Dead, who answered the question. The PS5 Pro, this is if you don't have a PS5 Pro. The PS5 Pro is for people who want to play the PS5 games at their best fidelity, with the best frame rates, with the best sound. That's it. Start there. Everything else is a bonus. The surprise to me for the PS5 Pro is all these third-party and second-party developers developing for the game. Or developing for the console, I should say. I'm sorry. So they're going out of their way, whether it was EA with Star Wars or the college football game or Madden. EA did it. EA's third party. Remedy did it. Remedy's third party. So again, these are all good things. Still haven't heard anything from Rockstar. The assumption is Rockstar is going to do it. Capcom's doing it. Square Enix is doing it. So all these are third-party developers and publishers. I mean, if I were to say to you, the PS5 Pro is running Monster Hunter better than your $3,000, $4,000 PC. I mean, you should feel like shit. I would. I would feel like this is a joke. You got to be kidding me. I went out and spent all this money, and the PS5 Pro is playing this game better. So I'm just saying. But the agenda being pushed is that, so that Sony will fail, and when Sony fails, now all of a sudden they will put their games day and date on PC. I mean, they're up there talking about The Last of Us Part 2, which is going to PC next month, which is a surprise when the TV show comes back. And yes, I do hope that Neil Druckmann and them, I really, when he came out and when they came out today and said there may not be a Last of Us Part 3, I just don't know what they could do. And that's just me. What they had a beginning, middle, and end, what else is there? Now, I support if Naughty Dog want to do a DLC where Tommy goes to, and I've said this before, where Tommy goes to Seattle ahead of Ellie and Dina. Remember that he went ahead of Ellie and Dina, and they were finding people. He was finding people. Tommy was finding people, and he was doing what he needed to do to get the information, right? I'm not gonna say it here on YouTube, but everybody, we all know what he was doing, right? So I would like to do a DLC. I would like to see Naughty Dog do a DLC with that. But I want to make this clear: if Naughty Dog doesn't do it, I'm not gonna get mad, because these companies, some people want these companies to just stay and spin their wheels where they want them to, and these companies have every right to go out and do something different. Last of Us Season 2, April. Yeah. And so the PC game is coinciding with that launch, the PC version. So certainly, again, I'm not going to get it because I already have the best playing version I can get on my 55-inch LG OLED, 2.1 HDMI. I'm good. I'm Gucci, as the kids would say. But what's this now? A certain favorite YouTuber is playing GTA 5 now on a 59 minutes. A huge difference. Well, again, GTA 5 came out when? But you see what I'm saying? They're paying, the PC community will pay thousands of dollars to go backwards with like Marty McFly. They're going back to the future. They go backwards to look at. So again, it probably is. I mean, it probably is. Yeah, I'm going to watch Daredevil when I'm done talking to you all. So. Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch Daredevil. So I forgot that was on. I've been watching Jack Reacher. So, but can't forget 2 Live Crew. Still got 3 2 Live Crew albums. Still got 3 of them. So, got the tape. Montel, I want to know where Dina went. I want to see what happens when Abby goes where she went. It could be a spinoff game. Well, it could be part of the DLC. But Dina, my understanding is Dina went back to Jackson. Isn't that where they were from, right? Jackson? I think she went back to Jackson, and Abby linked up with the Fireflies. I mean, according to the director of the game, he said, if you see that boat at the, Jack Reacher. Yeah, I'm loving Jack Reacher. If you have Prime, then watch Jack Reacher. It's in his 3rd season. It's fun to watch. So it's a fun show. Moves a little slow, but it's fun to watch. So I recommend that. It's on Prime, however. So if it's on Prime, shout out to Reforge Game. And I love when he said the other day, these guys think things are anti-consumer. So they think because a TV show is on Disney Plus, like Daredevil's on Disney Plus, they will say, I don't have Disney Plus and I have to go buy Disney Plus or sign up for Disney Plus, and that's anti-consumer because I only have Hulu and Netflix and and HBO Max. These guys will say that's anti-consumer. Says Dina was talking about Maryland. Well, but she's got a newborn baby and the father is dead. So how's she going to get to Maryland? They're in Wyoming. She has to go trek all the way across the country with a newborn. That ain't going to work. Okay, that won't work at all. So I don't. I remember she said she was from Arizona, so maybe she goes back to Arizona, maybe. But or was she from New Mexico? She was like she was from the Southwest, right? So, but my point is that I would like to see a DLC that I mean, maybe Abby gets to where she needed to go and she helps rebuild the Fireflies. Yeah, I mean that would be cool too. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see, well, look what happened. I don't blame you. You know what happens when Ellie gets back to Jackson? Is Dina there? Is Tommy there? You know, I'm just saying. You know, and this kind of have a long ass because the game does not have an epilogue because the epilogue was Ellie playing the guitar, trying to play the guitar at the end, and then walking out of the house. That's your epilogue. So I understand that people want to kind of see that. It's anti-consumer that McDonald's don't have it. Yeah, it is to these guys out here. You know, it is to them. They want one central place because they're broke. They want one central place just to play everything, and they hate the fact of what Microsoft is doing. Like they hate it. They hate it like a Jerry Curl hates an afro, right? So they hate it instead of them just moving on and saying, you know what, I don't like what Microsoft is as a consumer. I don't like what Microsoft is doing, therefore I'm not going to support this anymore. I did the same thing. I had a PS2. I was excited for the PS3, and then they delayed it for like 9 months, and I was mad. And then the ultimate thing, I kept my PS2. Well, I'm sorry, I went ahead and I took my PS2 in, and I got the OG Xbox. I just kept that. And then all of a sudden, the PS3 comes out, and it's like $600, and you got an executive at PlayStation saying the PS3 is so good, people will go get a second job to pay for it. Oh no, 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 no. I took my base Xbox back to EB Games. I got an Xbox 360, and I didn't look back for the entire generation. Meanwhile, Sony was going under, and everybody was laughing at them. So, switch Xbox position with PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, but I really hope people see that. You know, that's the whole thing. I mean, because the media wants it. The media wants what's best for itself, which is for Xbox to stick around, not go third party, so that they can do all these comparisons and things like that. That's why if you go back and you watch I think was it last year summer Game Fest that Microsoft did, or in the fall, and can't remember, maybe it was Colin Moriarty. It was somebody hosting the show, and Phil Spencer came out there on that stage and sat down on that couch and said, our commitment to Xbox gamers that all these games that you saw will be in Game Pass day one. However, you will be seeing more of our games on other platforms. And it was, I don't know if it was Ryan McCaffrey. I can't think of the guy's name. God forgive me. But when Phil Spencer said that, this guy, he looked down like, look at my face. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. Look at my face. This guy looked down like he just walked in and caught his wife on the downstroke. So it just that's what you're dealing with out here. So as long as you understand that, you can anticipate what's going to be said. Also, so moving on, I did put the rumor, and I'm using, there's Detective C. Shout out to Detective C's on X. He put this rumor out that Gears of War collection is coming to PlayStation. But he added that there may not be online play. And that his best guess was the reason why there's no online play, just so the PlayStation community, the hell did that happen? All right, is that so that the PlayStation community could go ahead and just burn through the 3 games. Okay. Alrighty, that's odd. Alrighty. So apparently, guys, there's a post going around. There's an email, a junk email going around. I'll let you all in on this. If you not open an email that says Donald Trump got arrested, because apparently that's a way they're stealing people's money. So if you get anything like that in your Yahoo, your Gmail, whatever, your Hotmail, delete it. Delete it immediately. So, you won a PS3 in 2007. Okay, cool. GTA 6 is still holding. Yeah, because GTA 6 is going to be. I'm going to show you my age, and I've already said this to you guys. Trust me here. GTA 6 has the potential to be bigger than Pac-Man. And if you didn't know, if you're not old enough to know, Pac-Man was the biggest video game of all time. I mean, again, they had shoes, it had clothes, it had hats, it had backpacks, lunch boxes, cereal. It was everywhere. Everywhere you went, there was a Pac-Man. Halloween costumes, just it was toy. I mean, it had it all. And Grand Theft Auto, so it was a cultural phenomenon. So was Star Wars. So was Star Trek. Those are cultural phenomenons. The MCU, Marvel MCU, Captain America, all them guys, Iron Man. That's a cultural phenomenon. I mean, what? In-game made, what, $2 billion in like 9 days? It's some ridiculous number it made. So, and Pac-Man was right there with them. Again, like I said, it was everywhere. I mean, being a little kid, I remember my friend Alicia across the street. I had a little crush on Alicia. Alicia had a backpack and they had socks, underoos. Remember underoos? So that's how big it was. Kids were dressing like Pac-Man, and Grand Theft Auto has the capability to do that. Except it's going to be woke, so you all better get it ready. Get ready. It will be woke. Just be ready for that. So again, the Gears of War collection. So my next question is going to be, if Gears of War gets announced this year, will you buy it for the PlayStation 5? And remember, it's 3 games, and they'll probably come in at, $59.99. So at this point, I wouldn't open up anything about Trump today until they get that under control. So, 2026 has Sorrows, Wolverine, Phantom Blade Zero. Yeah, but remember, just in November, you were being told by these YouTubers, again, these who need you all to click and then give them money. You were being told that there was no roadmap. Remember? You were being told that. So, in a game I'm looking, I mean, whatever happened to the game Judas? Like, that game just fell off the planet. Oh, if you didn't see 1943 Rise of Hydra, that's slated to come out in around the holidays. So, remember we hadn't heard anything about it, but the story just dropped today. I can't remember where I saw it at, but Rise of Hydra, Captain America, or whatever it's called, Rise of Hydra, with Captain America and Black Panther. It's going to be on the Unreal 5 engine. Just follow that. It's I think it's Amy Hennig's game. I mean, I'm saying it wrong. But that game, if you are wanting more information, I will start looking more into it because we got superhero movies coming out again. We got Daredevil on right now. We got the Thunderbirds, my God. The Thunderbolts coming out in a few more months. We got Fantastic Four. So this game has the opportunity to really take off if they're careful. If they can market it right. So, so you wouldn't buy it for the full price unless it's a remake. Well, I mean, it's going to be upgraded or updated. Again, Detective Seeds was saying it's going to be pro enhanced. So remember, when I talk about PlayStation Now, at this point, I'm talking about it like you all have PlayStation 5 Pros. If you don't have a Pro, I understand why you probably won't get it because you're not going to probably see a whole lot of differences in the Pro, in the PS5 version and the Series X version. But the Pro version is supposed to be, again, it's a rumor. This is why I don't like to talk about rumors because there's a chance it's not true. I mean, it could be a giant troll. So just saying, but if you want to know more about it, follow Detective Seeds, that's Seeds, I believe, on Twitter /X. I don't know if he's on Blue Sky. I don't know. But and sometimes he's a guest on Crossfire, so maybe he'll be on there tomorrow night. You all can send him questions. I'm just saying, hell, maybe I'll be on there tomorrow night. So, I'm just saying, maybe, maybe not. All right, but kind of moving on here. So we got that out of the way. All right, I want to talk about, I'm going to mention another YouTuber here that I support. I left a link in my description box. Make sure you all go sub and support because he's a good YouTuber, good information, sources all his stories, does Q&A with the audience. He goes by the name of Reforged Gaming. Now, I've had the pleasure to be on Crossfire Podcast, and Reforged was on there as well. I am a fan of his show. Again, I'm at work when his show is on, so I'm kind of dancing in between patients. Like, oh, our next patient's not going to be here for 10 minutes. Let me see if I can grab, part of the podcast, right? And President Zelensky and Trump deal not working. Oh, that'll work itself out. Y'all don't understand politics. It's politics. That's the way it is. But make sure you all go sub to him. And he brought up, he had like a 4.5, 5-minute clip on X where he just simply called out the outright lying and grifting of some, not all, some of these, quote, Xbox guys that are being, quote, flown out. And that's one of the funniest things I ever heard, because when I hear flown out, I think about OnlyFans girls, but these guys are doing, he brought up the point, his observation was that these guys are just, they're beating a drum on whatever Microsoft said. So, and he went through the litany, and this is true. You can go back and see the pattern here. Before Microsoft bought Bethesda, it was exclusives are bad. Exclusives are driving the industry apart. Exclusives are not worth it. Exclusives don't sell. Look at all these other consumers out here you could get with. Then all of a sudden, Microsoft buys Bethesda. And then he made it funny because he was banging a drum like, oh, okay, here's something new. Oh no, we can no longer say exclusives are bad. Now you got guys like Paris Lilly out here saying, well, and I like Paris, I'm not dissing Paris, but he is guilty of this. So he literally said that, well, you know what, now I understand why exclusives are important because it gives the console an identity and so forth and so on. Okay. So, if you want to play Starfield, you better get your ass to Xbox. If you want to play Fallout 4, you better get your ass to Xbox. That's what he said. Okay. So now Xbox has exclusive games, and all of a sudden, and again, they started money having. It's their company. No Redfall for PlayStation. Thank God. No Starfield for PlayStation, and that game was supposed to come to PlayStation. They prevented that game from coming. Again, that's fine. That's perfectly fine that they did that. But the whole thing that Sony does all this money at him and Microsoft doesn't do anything, it literally turned into, well, Microsoft has got the money hat because that's the only reason they can stay in business. Well, they money had it and they still became the bottom bitch, right? So, and then they bought Activision King Blizzard, better known by its gangster name, ABK. And here they come again. Boom, 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 banging another drum. And yes, and now Call of Duty will be in Game Pass. And yes, we won't have to pay for it. And if you want to play Call of Duty, then you are going to have to pay for an Xbox. That's what they were doing. All right? And then Jim Ryan goes to war. He becomes Iron Man, and he's like, no, you know what? We're the leading platform for this. We sell the most copies. They say, and we want a better deal than the 3-year deal that you all were just talking about. No, he was not in the Green Mile. Stop that. That Michael Clark Duncan passed away. I don't know if you know that, Jenna. Fantastic guy. I understand what you're saying, but that's a little below the belt. I like Paris. Okay, I like Paris. I want to make that clear. As a black man, I will support Paris Lilly. I think he's a good YouTuber, but the hypocrisy has got to stop. But anyway, and it's not just him. There's men and women in that Xbox, that because, and I want to make this clear. Let me finish this and I'll tell you why. Because on my podcast, we always say, here's why it's happening. So anyway, they get, and now it is, and then, the most beautiful woman in the world, Sarah Bond, goes out there and says, and yes, Game Pass will be getting Call of Duty Black Ops and and again, why did they do that? Because the goal was to put it into Game Pass so that you all would be triggered as consumers to go buy an Xbox and jump into Game Pass. But the damnedest thing happened. You all didn't do it. You all didn't do it as consumers. So remember, their number barely moved. So now Phil Spencer has to go in front of Darth Vader and tell him we didn't move the needle. And Darth Vader says to Phil Spencer, well, then you're going to put all these games on all platforms. And that turns into, well, it's only going to be 4 games. It doesn't. It's only going to be 4 games. And it turned into 5 games. Then it turned into 6 games. And then they came out and said Doom is coming. Day and date, they said Indiana Jones is coming. And so, and then all of a sudden, the wheels start to come off. But, my point here is that Reforged Gaming is correct. They were saying one thing on Monday, something different happened on Tuesday, then on Wednesday they started acting different. Now, why did they do that? So let's add context. What if I told you it's the simplest thing? And Reforged Gaming brought it up, but he was very good. That's why I love listening to him. He's very good at pointing you in the right direction, but he's expecting you to put the puzzle together. Well, see, I don't do that. I will just go ahead and solve the puzzle. It's like if you play Spider-Man, you got to try to make this go here and have this be there and match this. I hit the triangle to solve the puzzle. I ain't doing that. So, like I said, I cheat. And it doesn't matter. I will cheat. And if you don't like the fact that I cheat, fuck you. I don't care. The reason they're doing it is to keep access. It's that simple. It is that simple. To keep access, they're going to say what they have to say in order to maintain the access into the Microsoft ecosystem. So what do they get? They get free games, they get interviews, they get to go behind the scenes. Again, I want to make this clear. I understand it. So if I wanted to talk about, I don't know, like I like airplanes. So if I wanted to talk about the Thunderbirds, right, the stunt team from the Air Force. If I want to talk about the Thunderbirds, I can't say nothing negative about them because then they won't let me behind the scenes. All right? They won't let me back there. They're going to say, no, you talking all this cash shit. You see what I'm saying? You talking all this shit. So, no, we can't let you. I mean, I don't care if the Thunderbirds came out and said, we're going to get rid of the F-16s. We're going to go start flying P-51s. I can't sit up here. I wouldn't be able to sit up here and criticize it. I would have to sit there and say, well, you know what? That P-51, it's going to be able to do this, this, and this. It's like, wait a minute. That's not right. But if I'm, if I am, the honest thing is that I'm afraid that I'm going to lose access to the Thunderbirds. So whatever the Thunderbirds say, whatever they do, I'm going to champion. I'm going to pick up the flag and I'm going to wave the flag for them. Or as you kids would say, I would put on a cape for them. That's what that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. So why are they switching? Why did they switch and say exclusives are not important? It's driving a wedge in the industry to, oh, well, yes, I understand why exclusives are important. Because Microsoft did it. Microsoft did that. And then all of a sudden, and so now, what do you have now? You got people like Kid Smooth out here saying, Sony got to give us something. Sony got to do something. Give us Spider-Man. He's so beloved. Give us Spider-Man, please. Or let me say it a different way. Please! Okay? Give us Spider-Man. Give us something. Because again, and a lot of this stuff with these guys came out when Forza got announced. When Forza Horizon got announced to be coming to PlayStation, and I followed Zuby Tech on that one. Shout out to Zuby Tech. As soon as that game came out, these guys went crazy. Like, they went effing crazy. Oh, I can't believe they're doing this. What are they doing? You know, so. But why is Microsoft doing? Very simple. You all, the Xbox community did not buy the games. See, you were supposed to go into Game Pass, and if you liked the game, you were supposed to buy the game. But you all didn't do that. You all literally rented the game. And renting the game is not ownership, and renting is not going to give those studios back their money. So it's not. And so now you hear them saying stupid broke shit. That's why I said Game Pass is the language of the poor. Because these guys are on here saying, well, you all have to pay for games, and you're going to pay for us to put more games in the Game Pass. Well, that's what a broke bitch ass says, doesn't it? Because you ain't got no money to buy the game. So you rent. You know, and it's cheaper to own. But you have a whole generation. Remember I told you how dumb millennials are? You got a whole generation of people who are giving away ownership for access. There's that word again, access. So Reforged Gaming is right when he pointed out, and he didn't use no names. I want to make this clear. He did not say nobody's name. I did. So just remember that. These guys, I mean, Dustin Legary, you know, they misrepresented the IGN, maybe not Dustin Legary. They misrepresented what Shuhei Yoshida said about the Chinese market and the PC, and how the Chinese market does not have a lot of consoles in it. It's not that they don't have consoles, they just don't have a whole lot. China is still ran by the state. If you don't understand that, I suggest you take world geography and history. China's ran by the state. So China has a bunch of PCs in there, but they don't got a lot of consoles. So in order for Sony to make money in China, they are publishing Lost Souls Aside to the PC market day and date. Makes sense to me. But these guys took that and said, oh no, this is proof that Sony is going day and date on PC. Even though that's not what Shuhei Yoshida said. That's not what he said. The Chinese market is different than the Japanese market. The Japanese market is different than the market in Vietnam. That market is different than the one in Mexico. That market is different than the one in Brazil. That market is different than the North American market, which is different than the European market, which is different than the Australian market. You go all the way around. You just can't market one way to everybody because, as I said earlier to you guys, you all take information in differently, and you're a small group. Imagine billions of people. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. It's like the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Well, the aliens could not learn to speak all the languages on Earth, so the one thing that comes out of Earth all the time is sound. So they had a base version of sounds to help people understand how to communicate with them. Because we all learn differently. Some of us are visual learners. Some of us can read and do it right away. Some of us watch video. Some of us, can listen and just do it, read, do it. So it is what it is. And what these people are doing, because they don't want to lose access to Microsoft, and whether it's a major mainstream thing, Digital Foundry. I mean, how many times at the beginning of the generation did Digital Foundry shit all over the PS5? They shit all over it. Then the games started coming out. Instead of, think about it. You got these same PC folk who are willing, when Lisa Sue walks out on stage, when that dude Jensen walks out on stage and they say, this graphics card is going to give you a 25% better rate of return on your games. The first thing the PC community says, well, we need to see benchmarks. Makes sense to me. But when the PS5 and Xbox were coming out, all of a sudden that changed. Now it was, well, they got 12 T-flops and 52 CUs, and all these games are going to look and run better. Then when the games didn't do that, guess what? Guess what Digital Foundry had to say? Well, PS5 is punching above its weight. No, why didn't you all wait? Why didn't you all wait for some performance, some benchmarks here? You see what I'm saying? And they didn't do it because their job is to get you through the algorithm, is to get you to come over and click. That's how they get paid. And what I'm saying to you all is to stop doing it. You want to know more about Grand Theft Auto? Now I'm landing the plane now. You want to know more about Grand Theft Auto? Follow Rockstar, or Take-Two. Just follow them. Okay? Because they have to communicate to their shareholders, and they are not legally allowed to lie to their shareholders. So when they told their shareholders they still plan on putting the game out in 2025, that's the truth. That is the truth. The truth is that when for 2025, that's what that's their goal, to get it out here in 2025. You don't have to listen to nobody else. You know, I'm following the Captain America Rise of Hydra game, so when I got that email about it, you know, they wanted to come out this year. There we go. They wanted to come out this year. I'm like, yeah, let me tell you guys this in case you didn't see it. And there's an article up as well, but I got an email because I'm following the game makers. So that's all you got to do. You know, stop depending on an outside source. You can do all this stuff yourself. And then you will be what is known as a informed consumer, which makes you the most dangerous consumer on the planet because you know exactly what's happening out there. You know, you don't want to buy the new G series of TVs from LG because the G series, while it's brighter, it ain't so much brighter than the C4. And the C4 LG TV is cheaper. It's cheaper. Well, I mean, the panel, yeah, the G has a better panel. But is that better panel worth $650? That's what you have to do as an informed consumer. Yeah, Thunderbird or a Go, exactly. You bought the Meta Quest just for Batman. There you go. Let's see it. Outsider Gaming is waiting on Starfield. Well, I think you're going to get an announcement here soon. I think we're going to get an announcement soon. So, and again, I hope people will play Starfield. But if you don't like the processes, like if you didn't like Oblivion and you didn't like Skyrim, and you don't like Elite Dangerous or stuff like that, you're not going to like the game. Doesn't matter who makes the game. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you won't enjoy it. That's all there is to it. You won't enjoy it. Because it's not catering towards you. If you don't like zombie games, don't buy Resident Evil. It's not for you. Why do you say that? Because it's a zombie game. Well, Resident Evil 8 was vampires and werewolves, which are supposed to be mortal enemies, but for some reason they were all working together. But it is what it is. But it's a zombie game. You know, so is Days Gone. But if you don't like zombies, then don't play Days Gone because it's a zombie game. What it is, it's a zombie game. Yeah, Borderlands 4 is coming out this year, part of the roadmap. But remember, that roadmap talk turned into what's Sony's first party roadmap? Well, MLB The Show. You remember, Sony does not, and again, this is their words, Sony does not distinguish between a game that they publish. As long as they publish the game, they declare it first party. So they look at it like, you know, Lost Souls Aside is first party. That's them. That's not me. I don't process it like that. To me, Lost Souls Aside is second party. I was gonna say Days Gone. Death Stranding is being published by Sony. MLB The Show is being published by Sony. Okay, so that right there is what, 3 or 4 games? And that's not even June. So stop these guys telling you, there ain't no roadmap. Bullshit. There's a roadmap. But it suits them better to say Sony ain't got this. They're not doing this. Sony needs to listen to the fans. No, they don't. Sony made more money last quarter. They didn't listen to any one of us. They didn't listen to me. Well, Sony got a beta program, man. They're not gonna listen to you either. They just did that shit to shut you up. No, their internet goes down. Oh, I can't believe this happened. Sony needs to give me some money back. Well, yeah, because you're broke. You're broke. Didn't even know how to play your games offline. Like, whose fault is that? Even I know how to do that. And I'm an old man. How does me as an old man know how to play offline? Sony do current roadmaps, not current maps, not. Yeah, they don't need to do it. They don't need to do it because again, I've got a roadmap game up there now, Death Stranding 2. You don't want Death Stranding, you can play MLB. Don't want MLB? How about Lost Souls Aside? So I mean, again, so that's 3 or 4 different games coming out. That is, they don't make these games are not the same. So you get 3 different audiences for your games. That's why Sony sells so well because they have games for everybody. They do. You want to play co-op? You got Split Fiction if you want to play that. Okay? So get away from this whole thing of the roadmap. There ain't no such thing as a roadmap no more. The roadmaps got blown up because of COVID. They haven't put them back together again. So Xbox had a roadmap and still had. Well, I think Darth said that Xbox, the syncopation on how they're going to release games, they fixed that. They got Doom coming out this year. Oh, guess what? Sony has Doom. That's going to be on the Sony PlayStation also. Just saying. But all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock, a little after 8. I'm a bounce. I just wanted to touch base with you. I didn't get a chance to on 60 Frames No Lag. And a shout out to 60 Frames No Lag. Make sure you go sub to Reforged Gaming. He's just, he's putting in the work. And just make sure, and nobody's perfect. Of course, he makes mistakes. We all do. But he cites his sources, and you go from there. And as long as somebody is citing the source, you can go back in and check yourself. That's all you can ask us to do, right? I mean, that's what I was taught in college. Make sure you cite your sources. Okay? Make sure you cite those sources. It can't be from Wikipedia. The legitimate sources. So, excuse me. But all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. I will talk to you all later. I'm going to watch Daredevil.